Welcome back to Raised by Giants Illuminated Insights discussion. We are live. Welcome everyone in the chat. Good to see you guys and any moderators or members out there and any flockers that might be joining in. It is the return of the banana shirt. You guys love it, so I brought it back for one more time for the end of the year. So we have a really great show for you guys here today. But really quickly, before we get started, super chats and super stickers are available. Also, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee links are in the description as well, and are a great way to help support the show and my work. And if you contribute on PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee during or after the show, you'll get a shout out and a thank you on the next live. For big contributions, it's better to use PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee, but super chats and super stickers are always welcome and will be read out live during the show. Couldn't do this without your guys, the viewers' support, and a huge shout out to Duncan for his support on Buy Me a Coffee. Thanks so much for your kindness and generosity and support of the show, Duncan. Really appreciate you, my friend. So today's show is going to be a really great discussion with returning co-host, researcher, and content creator, and really good friend and friend of the show, Paul Knight. How's it going, brother? It's good to see you again.
Hello there.
We are live with the banana shirt.
Oh, aye. The shirt that takes everyone's breath away, and vision, and other senses. Hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
That's right, freaking banana shirt, dude. I love it. I found it right down the road here at a thrift store, which I also found something really cool the other day at a thrift store too that I sent you a picture of. But it's a secret. That's really expensive thing that is coveted thing, which is cool.
Oh, aye. You find a bargain everywhere, you'll have to get it sold.
Yeah, I do.
Shout out to the soothsayer. They just said the son's birthday today, so happy birthday. Anyone else whose birthday is today, Ryder will do a private OnlyFans later on for you guys. So it's up for that.
Quit making me commit to things that I didn't commit to, Paul.
Not yet, anyway. I can see when you're laughing, you know. Oh, carry on, Paul.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Good to see you in the chat. No Bull Truth, thanks for being a member, brother. No Bull Truth, holding it down on the members page. Holding it down for the underground, baby.
Definitely.
So, Paul, you have a new YouTube channel, and of course, it's always a joy to have you on, brother. And you've been ruffling some feathers on your new YouTube channel, the Thinking Man, and I'm actually going to pull that up here. Boom, right here it is. Thinking Man YouTube channel. You got 4 videos on there, and I highly recommend this channel. And the link is in the description if you guys want to check that out. But tell us about the Thinking Man, Paul.
I think we all do a bit too much thinking, man. It's just a nickname I've always had in the so-called real world. I think a lot. And YouTube, the PooTube, were doing their thing and hit me with a couple of strikes for an old video that they say was medical misinformation, yet there was no medical information in the thing. It was just the title was like a place, you know, like the UN, the other one, the WHO, and it, I was got some strikes for that. Appealed it, did not work. So I thought, you know what, while some of these strikes were active, I didn't realize I had an old one on it, and that ran out on the 14th of December or 15th, something like that. So I thought, you know what, I'll set up another channel and make some videos while that one of those strikes gets taken off the channel, you know, because other platforms at the minute just don't suit my style and how I do it, but we'll probably have to go on them. So I thought, you know what, I'll make another channel. And you know, when you make another channel, you're like, oh man, what do we call it? It's like, you just say What the Flock 2 or whatever, or you just think of something. I'm like, what do you know, it just so funny that you think a lot then, but when you put under the pressure of thinking of a name, it just goes, and you're like, so I thought, you know what, lucky enough, I was talking to someone at the time and they were mentioning this about thinking, and you know what, I'll do the Thinking Man. And I just, quickly made some images up and decided to put, this channel primarily will be for shorter videos, not always, but I thought, you know what, some stuff that intrigues me, I'll put on here and see how it goes. And it's gone down really well, but also has caused quite a storm.
Yeah, we're going to get into that because I just listened to the latest video that you put out on truth, and it's very interesting. And I think what's happened here is many people's belief in something has been mistaken for truth, and you get into belief toward the end of your video, and I think that belief has overruled any perceived truth that might actually be there. And then when you think, well, what would require, because you got three different things, you got belief, truth, and fact. And then what would require something to be fact? Would fact have to have some sort of evidence and proof? Because something that's written down doesn't make it true. If we take the Bible, for instance, our belief in the Bible is what makes the Bible true for a lot of people. Just like our belief in any article or any newspaper or online message boards, social media, we're believing that they're presenting the facts, but the facts has to come along with evidence and proofs in order for it to be a fact. If it doesn't, then it's just a belief. And I guess that's my question: is there a point in your research, Paul, where belief becomes truth?
That, to me, that is, you just said it spot on, right? Bye, guys. You know what I mean? It's a case of, like I was mentioning in the video, from you and the journey that you have to the truth. So you can just do the 2 points, A to B. That journey starts with you looking into what's labeled the truth. So your beliefs or your beliefs and believe is, you think, oh, I'm intriguing. I want to know more about this. What I'm researching, I get a tingle. You know what I mean? All the things that we all get. So when you start off this journey, and the journey to the end, when you finally have that aha moment, or when something inside you says, you know what, that's correct. What is that journey? It's life, it's experience, you're gaining knowledge. So is that the point where, do you start with a belief, or is it the journey itself which is the belief? Because if you look at it this way, what is fact? What is fact? You try. I said to people on the video, type in "truth is not fact." It's not. The truth may contain some facts, but not necessarily. It's just belief, and it says that you can go and check it for yourself. It's not something that I made up. So it's telling you there straight away that it's not what we think it is. Etymology of the truth tells you the same. It's faith and fidelity. So that word, now there might be something like what the truth is, that, that it's been hidden from us. Maybe that is the question to ask. But a lot of people were getting hurt, saying, how wrong was that? It's like, go and research it yourself. How can I be so wrong if I can see it in front of me? Now, could that be doctored? Yes. But like the example I said in the video itself, even facts can be lies. Because how many of you people support the globe Earth for what it is? They say that's fact. It's empirically, it's all science say it's fact. And then all of you will be saying, they're talking out their ass, it's bollocks. So if that's a fact and it's agreed upon, like the quote from Nietzsche said, lies are just basically, truth is just basic lies all agreed upon, it's a type of thing. And it's like, well, that's what it is. So what the system that we're living in, where you think, even me, when I started off this journey years and years ago, when you say the truth, you think you're on a journey and you're searching for this elusive thing that will show everyone what this world is, how the evil is in it, so on and so on. There's so many things, the topics come under the truth. Yet it's not what we believe to be. It's been weaponized. It's intentionally been weaponized to cause division. And a great example of it is on the video. The amount of trolls I've had has been unbelievable, saying how wrong I am. It's like, am I not allowed to have an opinion? What's this world coming to? And I'm not making these things up. You can go and read. You can type in any search engine the things that I've put in the video. I even put in some of the things, and it tells you faith. Truth is faith, fidelity, steadfast, being firm. That's not what we've come to know as what the truth is, and we're truthers, is it? It's a faith in a God called Fides, and many other names that come under it. So if what I'm saying is right, whatever the truth was has maybe been weaponized and changed with something else.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a fact and you believe it because the fact comes along with evidence and proof, then that would be considered truth. But if it's a fact, if it's not a fact and you still believe it, is it still truth? Right? It seems like a really big paradox. And I'll give you an example here. Someone shared an article the other day on Instagram about Disneyland serving human meat at its restaurants. And obviously, I knew this wasn't true at all, but I looked through all the comments and the people were legitimately believing it. So I looked for the article online and I found it. I clicked the about page of where the article was posted, and the website says that this website is the largest Disney satire page in the world. Now, these people that believed that the article was real are going to continue to believe that it's real without doing any kind of research, right? They believed it even though it was a fake, made up story satire page. And then that gets into a whole other line of thinking here. Hold on, I'll try and pull up the
And this is
the
what's
article here.
influencing everyone. Like you say, you're showing this. This is getting passed around as fact and truth.
Yeah, here's the article. Disney World restaurant is now serving human meat. Disney World is known for its cuisine. In fact, food is so important that there is a no ride ticket option. This Disney ticket allows you to go to Disney World but not ride any of these rides, just eat food and shop. Well, the brand new Disney cuisine is available. Disney is now serving human meat at one restaurant, and it's becoming very controversial. And this article goes like, I mean, obviously it's satire and it's made up, but it goes into really detailed things here. It talks about there's been a controversy around Disney selling human meat at its restaurant. First, from a legal standpoint, Disney got approved by the FDA to sell human meat. According to an internal source, this was a very challenging approval and very rare. Also, our source mentioned that all of the human meat is ethically sourced. Wow. So then you go up here, it's from Mousetrap News. You hit the about page. You scroll down here. What is the Mousetrap News? Mousetrap News is the world's best satire site. We write fake stories about Disney park stuff, from Disney park announcements to Disney hotel and resorts news to made up Disney partnerships. You can be assured that anything you read here is not true, real, or accurate, but it is fun. So technically our slogan, the mouse trusted name and news and Disney news, isn't true, but we thought it was creative and funny and we are running with it. But you have people believing in that garbage. And that is what a lot of, and that's just one example. A lot of this stuff is just completely made up nonsense, garbage, fictitious, no truth to it whatsoever, no facts in it whatsoever. And people just post a little clip. They just post a little article on social media, there was like 100 comments under that article on Instagram. People were like, "This doesn't surprise me at all. I can't believe this. Oh my god, why aren't they in trouble?" I'm like,
you have to say though, Ryder. I mean, not saying the article's genuine, but we do know the evil shit that goes on in these parks, or did, or mind control tied to Disney and all that stuff. So what happens is, because there's that much evil shit going on, when you see something like this and you don't research its satire, you will put 2 and 2 together and say, well, I do know there's shady shit and evil shit going on, so it's got to be true. Or you get what we always talk about in the community. That's them putting it out, joking about it, and it's really happening. So there's no win situation for anyone. Not anyone who trying to put together stuff for people, and then there's people who just put blatantly false stuff out. There's no divide again. We're in that last chance saloon type of thing again, where what is truth, what is accepted as truth, what is happening, but this is satire, but has it happened to other places or there? And you're getting two merging. You're getting people saying, well, that shit's happening, and they'll see what you said, oh, it's satire, but you get that thinking then, are we overthinking things? It's like, but shady shit has been going on for years, so this is plausible. But to that article, yes, you're totally right, and it's a lot of other things. It's to create division. To create division, you don't need gatekeepers when you have us, you, everyone in the chat, everyone who's not watching because we're not liked. Hello, by the way, and it's all those people too, because loggerheads, you get people fighting, people arguing over what is truth. What is truth? And when the truth may contain some facts, but not necessarily. And then I just use an example of the shape of this realm. They say that's fact. What else do they say is fact? Well, how about the word that makes a lot of people triggered? Gravity. That's a fact. Oh, but it's a theory in it. But no, everyone's accepted it as fact. So there's loads of things that we can say is fact, yet we know it not to be. So are they just lying? Is it an agenda? So on and so on. You didn't know in a situation like I say in the video, belief is obviously the verb. It means to have confidence, which contains Fid's name. And in the truth. And, so it's confidence in the truth. You're confident that you believe this to be true. Hence, where truth is, we're having confidence this is genuine. And then belief is a noun. It means a religious faith or the feeling of being certain that something is true. So basically similar. Basically, you have faith or confidence this is true. And I mean, how many times have we posted stuff? And we've always been caught out. Every one of us once or twice in our time that something is completely made up, and it's not being checked. It's not being reverse image search. We've all done it because we've had a belief, or we believe, what, that person's done that check for us. How many times have we done it? We've talked about it many times on our collabs that. You know what? This host, this person that we're talking, Ryder does his homework. I know he does. But what if that one day Ryder just, he's had a long night, doing whatever he does in the dark. And you think, oh, this is intriguing me. I'll just post this. And it takes off. And it's like, did you check it? But that's what it is. We have a belief that you will do them checks for us. And that's what happens. People always believe, oh, Paul will check out. It's true. But I've had a long night, which a lot of time I do. But that's what I'm saying. We've had a belief that, what, this sounds right. A belief or a believe in it to be fact or truth. When what we are told truth and fact is not what we're led to believe. You can see it. Go and research it yourself. I was dumbfounded years ago when I started to look at this, that the truth is not fact. It's like, what is it then? What is it? again, it's been that period I call the Great Vowel 12 shift period, when all the English language basically got changed, the consonants and the vowels, the language changed to hide. What was it hiding? Well, if you hide in spells, it can be absolutely anything. The secrets to the realm, anything hidden in the words, because they say in Gnostic terms, if you know every word, you can get through the door to the next realm or the next level. Well, how can we possibly know every word if they've changed everything or give everything double, triple meanings? What happens if you speak another language? Does that mean you go like thing in that game? You go straight away round. You miss jail. What's going on? Are we just making and looking into shit and making it up? It's just crazy times. And when you look at the word truth and the etymology, it's supposed to be the bones of the spell. It means faith, fidelity, loyalty, and be firm and steadfast and confidence. Where does it say what we believe the truth to be? And people are trolling me because they don't like what I've said. It's like, I didn't make it up. Go and check.
Yeah, and if you take facts away from truth, then you have belief. If you take belief away from truth, then you have facts. And then you have the theory of truth, where a theory or a hypothesis points to some form of factual information. And then you have objective truth, and then subjective truth.
Yeah.
And another issue that I see with people is that they try and cram their subjective truth into objective truth. So they have their own subjective personal truth, and then they try and force that subjective truth upon everyone else to make it an objective truth, which is just, I think in your video you said that the definition of truth is you just mentioned it a few minutes ago, that a fact or belief is just accepted as true. It doesn't mean it has actual factual information in it, right? It just means it's been accepted as true, which then gets into, well, if your individual beliefs create truth, then wouldn't everything be true?
Yeah. And people, I said people are arguing with me, it's objective. I'm very objective. But even in my videos, I say, listen, I try to be objective, but life affects us all. Then you've got the subconscious. Is the subconscious controlling anything that you're doing while you're researching it and putting two together without your prior knowledge? But if you just look at the meaning of objective, it means not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering or representing facts. So it's a bit could you say it's a bit like Spock, like no emotions type of thing. You know, I'm being objective here. I'm not influenced by personal life, but surely how each one of us was brought up and our surroundings that we live in today influence us in some way. Surely, because we're all programmed. Why are you getting triggered by me giving a new information? Not new, because other people have talked about it, but if I'm saying this is what truth is and truth is not what it is, and you are getting trolly and angry, that seems to me that you've had a trigger. It's triggered something in you to attack me. Why? Because it's faith. It's a belief. And that's when it starts to get, I don't say it's fact. I'm just giving an opinion, trying to be objective, but I'm not egotistical enough to say, you know what, personal feelings on some topics or how I research is not influencing it, because I'm being honest. Subjective means based on or influenced by personal feelings and tastes or of opinions. So, for instance, Ryder's shirt.
Don't bring up the shirt, Paul. Come
You know what I mean? No,
on.
but
You know
what
you
we were
love the
saying
shirt.
before we went on live, for instance, if all of you grew up on an Amish or whatever you call it, compound farm, how that brought you up from 0 to 20 odd or whatever, and then you went out into the wild world, how you were brought up, is it going to influence how you see life? Surely that is common sense. How I've been brought up will influence how I see this realm and how I learn and let it come in until you basically submerge yourself into it. Then you soak up more information. That information that you're soaking up and experiences then might change how you then look at this world in general. It's why we see things, why we see patterns, why we see the bullshit, because we've immersed ourselves in this. But also we can see it coming, the cell, the tells, their playbook. So surely how you live your life influences you, surely. Maybe
Absolutely. I mean, it definitely does. I mean, the experiences of your life is really what cultivates your belief systems and cultivates your reality and tells you what to basically believe in. And everyone has a different experience of life. So
Yeah.
therefore, everyone's going to have a different belief system, or they're going to take, truth differently.
Yeah.
And the lines here have really been
Like
blurred.
you, how many videos have you done on cults?
14.
Yeah. So all them children who were brought up in them cults, all that experience they've had in that will make them see this realm where we live completely different to how me and you see it, until that programming or those beliefs or beliefs is programmed out of them.
Noble Truth just says something interesting. Amish didn't have a box telling them what to believe is real, but they had, I'm pretty sure they have a religion, though. I think they have, I'm pretty sure the Amish believe in some sort of religion. Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh, isn't it? I did know that one. Is it? Because we don't have the type of Amish that you have over here, but this is what really have my.
Okay, the Amish is considered to be basic tenets of Christian faith. However, they emphasize adult baptism, simplicity, community, separation from popular culture, and the separation of church and state. So they are a Christian group. I thought so because I remember seeing some some churches on some of their land. So yeah, that's interesting.
It's just that's why I just don't get why, and it's what I'm saying in my videos has been proven right. Me saying that once these beliefs are challenged because you think you are the truth, and I will say, listen, how many times has anyone that's watched me know? Don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Do the research yourself. But that's why I show you what I find on the screen so you can see. You know what I mean? But how many times the search engines are controlled by them? How many times have you typed something in and then done it again the day after and it's completely changed? You know what I mean? I've done that many, many, many times. So you got a system that's basically controlling you. For instance, you don't know something and someone will go, that word like Siri or Google or whatever these things, because I don't use it. What is the capital, blah, 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 or what is this? And the phone's telling them. So then that goes down as fact or truth. Scry mirrors. So, you know what I mean? It's, it's how you observe this life, but it's influenced how you were brought up. Surely the experiences of person, if you've had a relationship and it's been abusive, that stays with you to the next relationship or for all your life. You know what I mean? So then you know, some things that happen, it just sometimes stays with you. But that influences how you see, you know. Then if you're going into a community and you're talking about this and it gets personal and people are talking about abuse, that triggers a response in you because you're human. These spells have an effect on vessels. The spell, spoken out the vocal cords, the voice of God, hits a medium. We're living in a medium, but also our body's in the medium. The bones, the flesh, the water in it, the fluid, the plasma, all has an effect when spells are cast on it. And people get triggered. Why? Because they believe they are fighting for the truth. And it doesn't matter if I hurt your feelings because I'm a truth warrior. So go, you know, and that's what it is. I don't care because I'm a truth warrior. So I'll call you and I'll make derogatory comments and I will curse you. Do you know curse is a spell? It doesn't matter. I am a truth warrior. You make your own rules up. And that's what's happening. I just don't get it. I never got the community, never will. And there is another thing that is basically weaponized.
Well, according to Google, because I did some searching around after I watched your video, and according to Google, take that for what you will. A truth is something that is true regardless of any evidence or proof, which is interesting. A belief is something that is based on a individual's opinion or perspective. But that statement doesn't sound right either. They almost sound identical, truth and belief, right? Because neither truth or belief require proof or evidence. The only thing that requires proof or evidence is facts.
Yeah.
A fact or facts is something that is supported by
Science.
evidence or proof, right? Science or some form of physical proof or some form of physical evidence or observing evidence or observing proof.
Yeah.
But truth doesn't need to be supported by proof or evidence. That doesn't really make any sense because when I think of truth,
exactly,
I think you have to have some sort of something backing up that truth. You have to have proof or evidence. But according to Google, you don't have to have proof or evidence for something to be true. It just is. Truth just is. You know, and it is regardless of any evidence or proof, which sounds identical to what belief is.
Yeah.
Belief is something that doesn't require any proof or evidence either. So they've really blurred the lines here between what truth is and what belief is. They seem like identical to me.
Yeah, and ask yourself, why is it you type in definitions of something and definitions change and not like etymology, but you can go to 10 different sites and you'll have variations on what the etymology or the meaning of a word is. Huh? Thought these were fact.
Not when everyone can get something different.
Yeah, how can it be different? Surely it has to be one word, one meaning, end of. Because words are spelled like us. You have 50 states. We have, God knows how many, but we don't have as many as you. But all over this world, you have states, boroughs, councils, parishes, whatever you want to call them, districts, and you have a different linguistic base. You will be told when you're growing up, this is what this is, and this is what it means to your local dialect. You then go on out the big, big, big world, and it means something totally different. I always, when I start linguistics stuff, I always remember. Do you remember The Water Boy.
With Adam Sandler.
Yeah, my mama says.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, your mama says, and we used to take it as fact. My mama says, and that's what's happening. Everything gets changed.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up that Google search really quick, just
And it's a crazy thing.
prove to you what I saw.
Yeah. Surely,
okay. So it says I typed in truth, belief, and facts, and then the top thing says the difference between a truth, a fact, and a belief is that a truth is something that is true regardless of any evidence or proof, while a fact is something that is supported by evidence or proof. A belief is something that is based on an individual's opinion or perspective. I mean, what's going on? Like, why is the truth the same as a belief? You would think the truth would need some sort of something backing up the truth, right? You just can't create truth unless our beliefs, then, like I was speaking about earlier, our belief in something just creates it as true. That's the only explanation that I can have from, based off of this.
Just made a good point in the chat. He said the phrase "the truth will set you free." It will make you mad as hell at first, but usually left that off. If we had told one another truth, it would get ugly instantly. But if you think about it, who came up with the word "the truth will set you free"? Who? If I had an agenda and I knew what Jay was saying straight away, all these truths will get headbutts straight away because no, this is the truth. No, this is the truth. Oh, we'll have to go to war now because I'm fighting for the truth.
But you can't handle the truth, Paul.
Yeah. And that's just instantly correct. And it proved my point in the video saying this. And what did it produce? People getting rather agitated and trolling. Haven't I not just proven myself? You know what I mean? Again, I always say check for yourself because search engines are murder for it, giving you different explanations, Latin translations, and everything goes all the way through. And then you have a different search engine. Then you'll have people saying, well, that search engine's owned by Google. That search engine's owned, but they're really good. And then 3 weeks later, you find out, oh, they're actually bought by them, who are a subsidiary of them. And it's like, this is the beast. They're using it to influence the masses.
Well, I think that it's highly possible what's going on here is that our belief in something, and I know that I've mentioned it several times with you before, and I've mentioned 100 times on my show, is the egregore concept, right? Our beliefs are creating truths for us. And then those truths are being spread around and getting other people to believe in those truths. And then those beliefs then become facts for some people, even though there isn't any supporting evidence or any proof to the original beliefs. Yes.
But that's an idea because you see TV programs talking about this, films, documentaries, and what better way if this realm is control in the sense of a word, like, you're in a simulation, but the simulation is connected to your brain, and basically, I wish thingy would ring, the next minute it rings on the phone. It's like, oh, what's going on here? And then you think of something, and something on your phone, you only have to think, you don't even have to word anything lately, and you get advertisements on your phone and your computer. It seems like something is listening into your thoughts. Are we in this system where this is a method of how we create? Is it the power of our minds, combined minds?
Yes, I think so. I think that it is. I think it's a collective, sometimes unconscious manifestation of our minds all together. Robert says Krapopolis, a newer show on Fox, was mocking culture and how social media drives people's beliefs. Krapopolis is a good show. I haven't caught up with it yet, but I watched the first 3 episodes from the guy that got kicked off of Rick and Morty, created Krapopolis. But that's another thing too, is like what you were mentioning with the TV and the movies and stuff. It seems like they're trying to drive a perception of belief and then getting people to believe unconsciously that something like that is going to happen. And then whenever it actually happens, then it's more accepted because people have already gotten believed in it.
Think of the energy, the power of combined mind focusing on specific things. Where's this energy going? Like they say in Clash of the Titans, oh, the gods, we need their prayers and we're getting weaker. Oh, we'll have a pandemic and we'll hone this agenda that we can't hug or you can't do this, and all this negative energy. All this energy is still energy, it's still negative, but it's still energy. It's like that Pixar, is it, with the doors, Sully and what's it called now? Where they scream, take the scream from kids. Oh, what's it called?
Oh, Monsters Inc.
Yeah, like Monsters Inc. type of thing. You know what I mean? Energy, walking backwards type of thing. And what, fear has an energy oscillation, vibration, a frequency. And if everything else around us is frequency, and we talk about succubuses and incubuses sucking the life force, and maybe that is how this realm is. I mean, I talked about a very long time ago on one of my old videos. It's on the Black Sheep Researcher Odysee channel, and I call it the Tempest equation. And it was in this, I was talking about, is our personality, who we are, controlled by the weather? Because obviously, you live in summer climates, you're a bit more happier than people that are living in a dark, secluded, location. You get that sad and different things. And, they're actually showing you on the weather. They are forecasting. They're casting spells and it's moving around. Oh, you're going to have a bump of low pressure. What's this doing to us? Is that how to influence our personalities by what region we live in? And we talk about different things in life, but we're talking about energy. I mean, people thrive off it. With the narcissists or whatever you call them, when they have you in their grasp, they're feeding off your energy because they have the power over you. Is it literally like ley lines, which means lie lines? Lying, is it sleeping, lying, or is it lying about the fact of what they're doing? Are we just all connected to the grid and they're feeding off us? There's so many things, because sometimes we overthink things. You know what I mean? It's like, what is going on in this reality? And what a better way to keep check than get these stories out, because people in the community will believe anything that you tell them. And that's controlling minds,
I mean, that's absolutely right. I mean, the hoaxes and the false narratives have been going on for decades now. It's unbelievable when you go back and you realize how much of the stuff was fake and made up, nonsensical stories that have zero facts and zero evidence. I mean, the first giant that was found in America was a fake giant. The giant bones, like the dude made the giant, he commissioned to have the giant made out of rock and some other kind of plaster, and then he buried it for 2 years and then had archaeologists go and try and to the site where he buried this fabricated giant and dig it up. And then that got everyone to believe that the giants were real when it was a complete fabrication. It's unbelievable. That stuff has been happening since, I think, the beginning of time, since humans have been on in this realm. People have been hoaxing people.
You're controlling the narrative. People are inquisitive. We want to learn about our surroundings. We want to learn about life. And some of us are even more subtle to these changes. And we just want to know. It's like, don't like to use it, but Star Trek, going out to search new planets and all that. we want to go, we want to investigate what's over there. You can't go over there because it's blah blah blah, and you're like, and then you start thinking, well, is it really okay? Because we know they lie. So is there an agenda to keep me out over there? So people go out and have a look. You know, there's so many ways. It's like we are basically fucked if we do and fucked if we don't. You know, and that's why I'm saying there's no right or wrong. And then you will get people who are rather religious saying there is one true fact. There is a God. Well, surely your God should be the same as my God, or what I believe to be behind it. And then again, that starts nice chatting at first and then gets straight to violence straight away because people have an emotional response which is programmed into us to fight once we feel threatened or the truth is threatened.
F. Kitty just says the lore of the forbidden, and I think that's a really good way to put it. But then what happens when the forbidden is fictitious? And the forbidden isn't really forbidden. The forbidden is made up garbage and nonsense.
Well, it's like, for instance, your house or F. Kitty's house. I don't know if you have children or whatever, but your rules, it's your house. We all have rules. Now, you can't have that rules for another person's house. And if your children didn't like them rules and leave, and have their own house, they will then set up their own rules. So it's basically just like this realm, where people set up rules within rules within rules. People find loopholes. You know, if it's a fact, surely there's no loophole or no other meaning behind that. Why does it trigger so? Do you know what I mean? And it's just crazy because it's designed to do that very thing. To trigger you, to get you angry, to fight, to cause division. And people fall for it.
Yeah, it's interesting if you look at the word fact, F-A-C-T, you just change the two letters at the end to K-E, you get fake. Fact, fake.
I know, but like, for instance, there's always been people like you, me, Noble Truth, FKT, JJ Recon in life. There's always been people thinking, theorizing. You know, we're no different. Maybe they had better brain capacity and were able to do many, many things because we're just theorizing on this. But what I'm trying to get at is there's always been people that think like this. So were these people thinking like this the ones that came up with the term for that? How did that get the name marker? Who named it? The inventor, or who patented it, or and so on and so on. And then that labels it to stick in this frequency in this realm. But what I'm saying, like I've said many times, I had a stupid name and we called it by that. Who sets the rules? And that's just what it seems in this place.
It's interesting too the way that people label things as well, because people in Australia, I don't know about the UK, but they have different names for almost everything, and it's the different names for them are really what they are. Like they're almost like literalist when it comes to the way that they label things and name things. It's very related to the use of what
like I was saying before,
the use of the product
in the world, in your country, all have different meanings for said thing. Then that goes all around the world, and then what happens if that then you were brought up knowing that this was a marker, and then you went out in the big world, went into the next state or next country, and they said that's a pen or that's a fiddlestick, and you're like, no, that's a marker. No, that's a fiddlestick. I'm sorry, my mum I was taught at school. Oh, there's the etymology for that, and then boom, straight away, because people, that ego, that I, has been programmed into us to create conflict. like the Babel effect, the Great Tower of Babel, to cause division. People will say, well, no, I know the Bible off by hand, and this is what this is. And then some say, oh, well, that's not the actual Bible, and this is the Hebrew, and this is the Ethiopian, and it's so on and so on. It's just to confuse and fuck everyone's head in.
That's interesting because the Heaven's Gate cult started doing that. They started relabeling things and making different names for things because they said that getting to get people out of the worldly construct by the way that everything was named. So they just relabeled almost everything and renamed everything. They even gave their followers different names as well, new names. So I like the fiddlestick, bro. We should start calling pins fiddlesticks.
And
I got a
I'm
fiddlestick.
to show you an image. Language then is getting changed to
emoji.
So in 50 years, 100 years, I'm feeling sad, and you write sad, and it's like, that's not sad. This is sad. Little emoji with tears.
Come on, Jay. You don't want to call a Sharpie a fiddlestick.
It's a fiddlestick.
Put your Sharpie up. Let's reunite our fiddlesticks here.
Yours is yours is bigger than mine.
Fiddlestick, baby.
But that's what's happening. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not out of this because I like to involve myself in it and say we as a collective. And I know you shouldn't, but we do have the power to influence people on these channels and on the channels, and whatever we say, people accept it as truth.
Good to see you, Montauk.
You know what I mean? And
here,
it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Or the world's going to end, and it's like, well, if the world's going to end, and you're telling everyone it's going to end, shit, that's going to change your personality and shit, and how your temperament. And I've known, like I said, many times, people really, really down and depressed, and like really bad mental health, because the community is full of people with mental health. We all have some type of issue, and a lot of people are really, really bad because they're taking health advice, financial advice, spiritual advice of people who think they're fucking gurus. It's the only world, isn't it? It's like you can't say, oh, well, because he's got a lab coat on, a white coat, and trust him. And then you go straight out and, well, let me talk to this person I've never met in my life who says, don't trust them, but trust me. I have your best interests.
Yeah, and for $333, I can heal you from all of your pains and aches. I can take you up into the Galactic Federation light ship through Zoom. Just got to pay me $333, and I'll heal your cancer, your all this nonsense garbage.
And it is influence people. Like I people have watched me for a few years now, and I never call anyone out. I never make an AV video or tell people don't follow them, don't do that, or post people's names, because it gets you nowhere. But this person really just I'm going to show you, and then I'll just read it out. I'm not going to tell you the names because they don't deserve any credit. I feel sorry for them, I really, really do. But there was a comment. You can see it there. I've posted it on my social media on Twitter if you want to read it. But basically, now sit down, guys. I hope you get this.
This is a doozy.
Right, I'm going to read it out for you and tell me if this person's right in the head. Right, they type, yes, Paul, I agree. Truth is best. Are you an open FTM? I can't recall you mention it. Most covert trans men are club members. Are you a member? Also, therefore, con op. Very disappointed if so, sincerely. Next reply, I didn't reply. He kept on writing, if it is a he or she or a bot. Your skull gave you away. Should have kept your beanie on. Skull and bones don't lie. What do you say to people like that?
It's mental health, dude. These people are not well. They are trolling. They just comment whatever they feel like commenting. I mean, how many times have you gotten that you were a Freemason because you're doing something weird with your
Yeah,
hands?
I scratched my
I mean,
nose.
people have commented about my background, saying that I'm evil because this tapestry behind me that's blocking the sun that I just randomly found from a Goodwill. They're saying that I'm evil because I got this skull tapestry behind me. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And you can't, like I said, you can't wear this color because that's symbolizing that. It's crazy. These people.
It's to block the sun, guys. It's to block the sun so it's not so bright in here. That's all that it is.
And I seriously was laughing all afternoon and evening at that comment because I'm like, oh my. And I just could not stop. And I'm like, should I reply? And I thought, no encouragement. But, you know, I've been called many things, the work shit and blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. It's not work. It's just an opinion or a theory on what I find. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you believe that, seriously, you need help. You really do need help. Do you know what I mean? And then you like, also, well, me 3 children, I'll have to be told, you know, that's a miraculously birth. You know what I mean? Especially because they look like me as well. But, you know, hey, and these people don't need encouragement. And there's people who do investigations that these people are ruining their reputation. Because it's like anything. You can't tar, and that's why I'm not attacking people like that, because you can't tar one Looney Tune for everyone for what you do, because it is unfair. But these people are influenced by Usla, and that was a new one. Do you know what I mean? My skull gives it away, and
your skull gives it away. You're part of the Skull and Bones.
Yeah. And I posted that, and the amount of people who said they've had to leave social media or their children because they got called this and they've just given birth. It's like there's no end. I could reply to this person and try and talk sense, but it would not work. Once you get this belief, and it seems funny that a video was talking about truth, and I was showing you how it's connected to Masons and fidelity and fides, that I get all this. It just seems strange, doesn't it?
It's very strange. And Jay brings up a good point here. The world was going to end, going to really end at least 150 times during my time here in this realm. Earthquakes, X flare, pandemic, or Planet X, alien invasion, etc. And that's exactly, I mean, how many people have we heard about just, you know, claiming that the world is going to end and that you got to get ready, you got to get prepared, and none of it ever happens. I mean, going back through all of these UFO doomsday cults, every one of them have like a fantastic prediction, whether it's going to be the end of the world, the end of the where the extraterrestrials are going to show up and rapture up the selected 144,000 into the next evolutionary level above human. It's the same garbage. It's the same garbage that is being regurgitated, and they don't know where it came from, and they're just making these fantastical predictions that never come true. I mean, I just got into an argument with someone about this the other day on Instagram. I'm like, hey, stop promoting this person, stop bringing this person on your show. Everything that this person has ever said has never come true. None of it has ever happened, but yet they're still putting them out there like they have some sort of information that other people don't know. Like, you should know by now that anybody that ever makes any prediction about, especially a specific date or a year or a time, it never happens. It's never happened in the history of people being here. It's never happened. No one has ever accurately ever predicted anything of significance. Ever. But yet we keep continuing to support these people that talk about this nonsense garbage of predictions of anything. It could be whatever, a great disaster that's going to happen, extraterrestrials landing, the destruction of the earth. You know, it's all garbage.
Yeah, it's a trap. But it's keeping, because people then will come with a comment, this person's prophesied this and this and this, and then someone who's researched it deeper will say, well, no, And, so it's a loop, it's a trap. So it's like, what are we here for? Are we here to learn? Is this an exercise? Is this, what is this place that we're actually in? And then that's another whole video that we've talked about many, many, many times. How many people have a different opinion on where you live from what you see with your eyes? But also, you don't look with your eyes because you also use your head, your mind, your heart, your soul, your spirit. Because how we get influenced in life, if your parents were more objective, like Spock, or without emotion, and that is how you are now, that will control how you see things. It's common sense. Your experiences show you how to live life. For instance, when you're younger and you just put your hand in the fire, no, don't do that, that'll burn. So that's an experience, personal experience of feeling, and that will happen. Well, if you are a Star-Lord, will that not burn? You know what I mean? So there's so many stuff that goes on in this realm that's really is exciting, scary, all rolled into one. And when you talk about, for instance, today, what is the truth? Is there a different word? Because remember, it's just a label that's been labeled. But if people have changed the meaning of this label so many times, like Chinese whispers, who's to know? This is what the truth means, Paul. I've got this at 1199. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. I've got one at 11th century, which is right. Does the person who with the earliest one mean right, or was that a lie in the first place? Because you can't trust anything to be fact, because everything in this modern world is controlled by the media, social media, influencers. And that,
Well, I think you can trust things to be factual, but you can't trust things that are beliefs or truths, because just as I
what is a
pointed
fact?
out,
Because I know you don't believe or whatever this realm is, but there's not just that. Anything else gives me a fact. What is a fact? They say we breathe in nitrogen and oxygen and stuff and so on, but it is a gas or liquid. So you breathing in a gas or liquid. You know what I mean? You can go into depth on any subject, and it's just like I said, it's a world of confusion. And then
well, I
you
think
get
that a
people,
fact would be something that is easily verifiable, that you can observe,
and that's why they control the sciences.
like daylight, right? Like you can see that it's light outside because when you go outside, you see the sun is shining. That's a unequivocal fact that it's daylight outside, and same with
But
nighttime.
yeah, but it talks about in the Bible we create, the brighter light for the day and the lesser light for the evening. Once if that got completely mistranslated, how do we check these things? People are saying that the light is good. Let me get a powerful torch and shine it in your eye and see if you go blind. The light is good though. And the night, and then people talk darkness, and because it hides the light, is that more powerful? Or, because when you get a torch, there's only so much you can see in the dark. You know what I mean? And it's like in certain parts of history, black was light and white was dark. Again, that influences a lot of things. it's just a mind warp, and then you have the light. I always were brought up to believe that the sun was yellow.
It's
And
not.
now it's
It's
white.
white.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So is that in the Mandela, or have they changed it? And I've done videos on this years ago and researched it heavily about artificial lights. I mean, I've took pictures. I have the camera set up, and I used to take a picture of the sun every day. I've actually took a picture with my son, not my son's son because I don't have a son, the sun, and I've caught a flare. What a flare is. How is that possible if it's millions of miles away? I had filters, you name it. I've done it. I've took pictures and seen it in a diamond shaped with the filters on. It's a crazy world, my friends, and what we are told is not what we believe, and that goes with anything. But was it told for our benefit or their benefit, or neither, or manipulation? And that's what we have to go with. Do we just go off into intuition?
Jay says yellow sun for me too, and now white to bluish hue. But then when you think of, whenever we were growing up as well, if we just drew a white sun isn't a white crayon isn't going to turn out like a yellow crayon is. We might have been programmed from drawing and being really young. Oh yeah, that's interesting.
And I caught it on a video. I was filming it in video form, and that's just a still. And I caught it doing the solar, what's like basically a solar flare.
That's
You know what I
interesting.
mean? And it's crazy. You shouldn't be able to do that. My camera can't zoom through space. And then you get arguing people what space is. You know what I mean? People do think you're an idiot or you've not looked into things. And it's like, it's just mind blowing what this reality is and what's influences people, because we do get influenced by things around us and opinions. If I respect Ryder, Rebecca in the chat, Jay, and so on, if they say something, that opinion or belief holds weight. And that has gone through life. Surely that is another what has been introduced as what opinion or fact is. And in the day and age of memes, when all can be faked, information. How many memes have you saw, Ryder? I'm just looking for a picture to show you that it says fun fact. It's like, is it a fact or is it just like you've just said before? Not true, kind of thing. It's like the reality of what we actually live in is just a mind blowing, but it intrigues me. But other
People have been faking photos for decades and decades and decades now.
Exactly.
I mean, the whole fairy thing, I've talked about it a few times on the show. The whole fairy lore and all that came from, well, not the lore of it, but the first photos of supposed fairies came from the early 1900s of these two girls that had cardboard cutout of fairies and posted them up in the photo and took pictures and got a lot of people to believe that there were real actual fairies, but they were cardboard cutout fairies. They were faked.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. All the faking and everything that's been going on with photos now isn't new. It's been happening for a really, really long time. And
they used to put ghosts into them as well. When I was doing my research on that, they used to fake dead people in them as well. So that's another movement. And sometimes it's like, sometimes you got to ask, is the digital eye of the camera seeing what we're not actually seeing, or is it showing you what's really there? It's just, and a lot of people do fake stuff. So you're getting all this out in the wild world, and it's hard to believe what is going on. I'm just trying to find that proper sun picture that I took. Right.
It's just interesting how some of these sites can continue to stay up, like the Disney site.
It might zoom. Is it? That is like with no filter, and it's just, you can see I've actually written on it no filter, and when you put a filter on and change it, you can just see what you're actually looking at. You see, that's just with a plain filter on it, a diamond shaped, and that is the sun. So it's a crazy. This is one picture I took all day, and is it just the camera? I thought it was Batman.
Batman signal.
Yeah, and then I put a filter on it, and then I'm catching other objects and an orange sun behind it.
But then you never know if that's like a lens flare on your camera,
Yeah,
because
is
so
that
many
lens camera
people
problem?
try and
Yeah.
post those photos of the double suns and all that, and Nibiru behind the sun and all of it, and when it's just a lens flare on your camera.
Yeah, there's so much problems with it. And again, you have to be objective and just show things, trying to and say, listen, I've took this. What is this? Is this a flare? Is this what actually seen? I believe there's more than one sun. The ancients drew these on the walls, more than one sun, thousands of years. Are these fake? Are these fake carvings? Because you saw some with TVs, them things that you scan, them little boxes. The little pixelated things there's things that are thousands of years old. There's pictures of sperm in incubators.
Good to see you, Rebecca. Thanks for dropping in, Rebecca. Appreciate you. No, and sometimes people, they take photos through the windows of their car or through a window, and then that also creates an effect within the picture as well. So it's like you never really know. I mean, pictures
I'll
lie
just show
as
you
well.
that image, and this is an old, ancient, not ancient, but hundreds of years old. So is that showing you an eclipse, or is that showing you what I just did, or a false sun? Because again, it's up to interpretation and your perspective. That's how we do things. Sometimes you'll see something, Ryder, completely different to what I see. Who's right or wrong? You've heard me say this many, many times. And again, this is like what we're talking about in the community, the truth. What is going on? Is that the truth? Is that the truth? Is that a fact? Is that there's no other explanation? And then you have Occam's razor, so you have any different things that influence what this reality is. And then you have us, people like us in it, changing what we see in this reality because we see something different. And again, if I show you something and you guys go, that resonates with me, that's what I believe because I've been looking at the same thing. There's two people thinking that 2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Yeah, JJ Recon, thanks so much for your kind and generous 432 super chat. Flocker, he says Flocker for life.
Yeah. Or is it Frocker? Is it changed now because over in the UK, a dress is sometimes known as a frock. So a friend of mine was laughing with me saying she should change your name to What the Frock TV. I'm like, don't get people tied in, influence them.
Yes. Sorry, I'm gotta reply to this message really quickly.
So what I mean? Like I said, you have all these things then, and how would we look at reality now? And people, be honest in the chat. Life and this reality hooked up. There's so many things out there that only 2 years ago you wouldn't hear anyone saying come out with some of this stuff that we're coming out with now. What is class is saying, what is saying, but you know what I mean. And it's like now it's okay to do all this shit. And it's like, is there an agenda to just completely get us looking at everything and not looking at what's going on over there? Or, go on.
F Kitty says when you start seeing the falseness, it makes you question everything because exactly how deep do the lies go?
Yep.
And holy crap, that is a giant rabbit hole, and I am been in the
But
mix of that for a really long time, and I would say a
what about that?
majority of it is false.
I mean, but what happens if, for instance, and this is just, does this not mean anything? But that's why I put it in the video for anyone that's not watched it. Sometimes things they say, people don't. You've heard them. Oh, we live in Lucifer's realm. Everything gets mirrored. You hear people saying that, don't you? So I thought, I'll try that. Lies backwards is sale. Why does sale mean happiness? See, sale is lies. happiness, good fortune, and bliss. That's something good. Well, if it's a mirror reflection of lies, it cannot be. Prosperity, happiness. Is lies being changed?
Yeah, being inverted. I mean, that seems very plausible. I mean, everyone says everything has been inverted here, but
Yep.
it's only inverted when it fits their paradigm and what they already perceive to believe, right? They don't want lies to mean prosperity and happiness. So it can't be an inversion then, Paul.
Yeah, I know that, and we have people thinking that, and it's like, well, is that what's going on? So that's what I'm saying. Are we just doing this ourselves because of the things that we're thinking upon, and that influences, and that, like I said, that niche quote was, "What is the truth, but a lie agreed upon."
Yep.
So, and people say, "Well, we're living in his story." We saw it. I've used it in videos. His story, told a tale. It's part of the stage. It's just what they call now. What actors have what they learn the lines on. What they call now? It's gone out my head.
What do they call what?
What actors use to learn the lines. The book.
The script.
What's that?
The script.
Yeah, script. So is it? Is life just so many thousand scripts? And this is what we're talking about. The script said this, and this is how you have to go off it. And it's like, well, we're all actors. I showed the definition of actors in an old video, meaning agent. So, what is going on? So, people will find these scripts and think they are ancient Bibles or books and so on. It's like, again, what is the truth? Is it a truth, a fact? Is truth a belief? Confidence, fidelity? Has the etymology been changed for a reason, to confuse us or to get us to use our energy looking for the truth? And the energy of that process from going A to B is being transferred and harnessed.
Yeah, it seems like that's exactly what's happening. Our energy and our belief in something is being siphoned off, and then is creating what we believe in sometimes in a physical form, and sometimes that's how manifestation works, right? You put your energy into something that you want to happen, or something that you physical possession, or your life to get better, or you to get a new house, a new car, or whatever, and then you put that positive thought form out into the universe, and then hopefully the universe gives it back to you. So I think that's exactly what's going on. Our beliefs are fueling the truth,
and
we've mistaken beliefs for
I didn't
being
even
true.
read the comments of one troll, because obviously in my other channel, I can only access it via the computer. I don't have it on my phone, so I can't answer any comments until I can on the computer. But one person had a problem with me on what I was saying in the video, and it turned out that this person was writing a book on the truth. They got very personal from this person because I'm just saying basically the truth is not worth what we're basically saying. And we're fighting for it. And that's what I say in the video. Are we fighting for something? Are they just making us fight to create division and negative energy, fighting and keeping us divided? Because there's nothing that divides a household on a holiday when you're at, when you holiday, like Christmas. I mean, how many times have you seen in Truthers and you're like, oh, do you know Christmas is pagan? And you get all this, and then you have your Thanksgiving and family are in the house, and straight away religion, politics. You can't even mention politics, and then you have people who support Trump and all this stuff and the other presidents, and it causes division straight away within the community. You can Me and you can be 99% on everything. And then that one topic that you have a strong belief and faith in can cause divide. How many friends have you lost? You know how I am as a person because you've watched me long enough, but I've still lost people who, when you go against what they say, their core belief, again, your core belief, your belief, your belief, you lose friends. Ryder's lost friends. I've lost friends. And I'm assuming everyone in this chat this evening has lost friends because that one thing is an impasse because it's triggering a core and a belief in them.
It's so interesting how they can agree with everything that you said up until that point, but then get so upset about the one thing that they actually disagree with that they attack you and continue not to support you. It's so backwards, dude. How does that happen? Like, if I like something and I like someone, then and they say something that I don't like, I'm just going to move on, do something different. I mean, I had so many comments on my Apple podcast feed of doing a episode on the dues in Hawaii. I was like, hey, listen, dues might exist, but I don't think the dues were responsible for Hawaii. And then I got so many, just on that one episode, so many comments of people saying, oh my God, never listening to you again if you don't believe in the dues, blah, 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 blah. You're making fun of the dues. And I'm like, that's one episode that I did out of the hundreds of episodes that I've done that you've supported me through all of those other episodes. And then one comes out that you disagree with and you don't like. And then immediately you turn around and say, I'm never listening to you again.
Do you know that?
Huh?
Bruce Springsteen's going to be rather angry with you.
What's
you can't start a fire without a Jew. I know it's bad. I made a meme a long time ago on that. I just thought it was funny. You know what I mean? Without a direct energy weapon. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, that's your, opinion. I have an opinion on it. Sometimes I'm not bothered at certain things because, we focus on the things. We all have an opinion because basically, like the old say, so opinions are like assholes. We all have one. You know what I mean? And who says that opinion, that faith, that belief is fact or the highest ranking? Is it because you got more subs? You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know what I mean? We do. We all have an opinion. And I say this is what my videos are. This is just an opinion on what I found on it. It's not my belief. For instance, if I research Tory, whatever I found on Tory, I'll put in the video. Oh, you must love Tory. It's like, I'm just showing you what I found. It's just an opinion on what I found. Oh, well, can't follow you anymore. You know what I mean? We have these struggles daily, and I just block people. I'd love, people just don't get sometimes a British accent or sarcasm also, and the humor. We all have a different type of humor, and
Yeah, that's a good song, Jay. I like Fall Out Boy's redone version. It was good, which I love Fall Out Boy. Always liked Fall Out Boy. But that's the whole the crux of this entire situation, that if you're not listening to things that you disagree with, then you're not growing as a human being. Like exactly. I listen to things that I disagree with all the time.
Yeah. And it is what it is because it's just an opinion. For instance, like I've said, there's you, A to B. What you learn through that journey when you get to here influences. So if you only hear or research or look into one opinion or belief, that becomes you. So then you come along looking nothing like that, causing conflict straight away. Well, it can't be that because my journey in life, my experiences, the people that's told me it's this, and I trust them because they'd never make a mistake. Influence us. You know, how many memes, how many things have been said throughout our history? It's, you know, and we're going to war because I disagree with you on that opinion, because it's my core belief. I have confidence. The goddess fights.
Well, I mean, it's
You
always
know,
said, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer, right? Why would you not want to listen to other people's opinion on a topic? I mean, I know several people that listen to and watch and read things from both sides of the aisle
yeah.
because
Well,
you
it's
want to
like
be
that saying,
informed,
isn't it,
right?
Ryder? If you can't take an opinion or, you know, advice of someone, then they're not your friend. So if you said to me, Paul, would you like my opinion or would you like some advice on that? If I don't want to listen to it or take it on board, then you really shouldn't be friends, because surely if a friend gives you, you know, you don't have to do it, but if you don't, you know, that's the point of the thing. If you're not willing to take or listen to some advice or an opinion, then you're not friends. You know what I mean? Because it says it straight away. You should be able to, and this is what we've been programmed not to take advice. We only should take advice of people in white coats. But then again, sometimes it's done the U-turn, and we're taking medical advice off people on bloody PooTube, Fedbook, X, Twitter, whatever. And it's like, well, if you drink your own piss with cyanide and then mix it with mercury, stick it up your bum for 3 days, you will then have the enlightened nature. And it's like, you know, you just can't win. And you know what I mean? And that's what basically the gist of this. What is the truth? Do you believe it is? Do you believe there is actually a truth and it's just been mislabeled? Do you think it's something else? Is it your journey while you've learned that makes your core belief and, you know, your thoughts on that topic? Because surely if it is a fact should be fact without doubt. So if I say this is a fact, surely there shouldn't then be 16 different things on it if you go and search. Or is that search process being altered and doctored? Or are we overthinking things?
Well, you're getting a bunch of different opinions on the same subject and the same topic because again everyone has a different experience of their life and anyone can post anything on the
Yeah.
internet. Anyone can make a website, anyone can make an article, anyone can make a blog.
Yeah.
Right, so they're giving you their information from their experience of life or maybe some sort of research,
And
so
I
it's
shouldn't
like,
be doing it because I'm sending people down the wrong path. See, telling people to go and research for yourself, look at it, don't take my word for it, look into it, because this is not an opinion, it's just an opinion on what I found. That's sending people down the wrong way. It's giving the wrong message. I should say, I am a galactic angel with 16 fucking brains, and I know because I am God. I'll get 1 million followers.
yeah.
But no, I'm just some random person researching, looking, showing you A and A and the possibilities of a different alternate theory or an opinion on it. And I very struggle to get one sub in here. You know what I mean? It's like,
Wait, so you're not the reincarnation of Jesus?
no, I'm actually a reincarnation of a leprechaun's left tit.
Ah, that makes a
I
lot of
was the
sense.
right tit, but it wasn't getting enough sunlight. So I changed to the left.
Oh, so
To my
you're in the
sorrow.
cult of the leprechaun left hit.
Yeah.
It's a good cult to be in, I've heard.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good, yeah, the cult of the leprechaun's left tit. Everyone, get your left tits out. I have to get me the thingy to check the angles.
Let's see some side boob. Get some side boob going on.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? So, you know, humor's gone on with life and everything, as we always say. And again, the truth is very subjective and objective. Can it not be both? A subjective objective.
LLT. Tori already got the abbreviation for the leprechaun left hit.
Let's start the LLT movement, and everyone.
It's classic, but that's the way that they all operate. They all got to put themselves up on a pedestal to make them seem more important than other people,
Yeah.
that they have knowledge, more
Yeah.
knowledge than other people when they don't have any knowledge. They're not important. They're just like an everyday person, but putting themselves into that position gives the illusion that they have something important to share, and they got to be the reincarnation of someone important in the past life. They got to be communicating with the 33 confederation of light planets, the galactic federation, the brotherhood of light, the 33 council of
Yeah.
Nicaea. They had to have met inner earth people, and it's all the same garbage, and it's all to put them in a position of power, but that position of power is an illusion.
It's like your shirt. Is that going to come back as, the defining moment of YouTube's entire broadcasting history is Ryder's shirt? I used to wear some wicked shirts back in the day.
Banana Man!
You know what I mean? And this is what we're all here. Surely we're just here to hear a different. Surely you guys have turned up today because you want to hear or see Ryder's shirt mainly.
That's
see
right.
the sunshine off my follically challenged head. And you just hear for a different opinion and us two just chatting, talking about things. That's what you're here for. Surely. Do you know what I mean? And an occasional enlightened word or two. That's it. We live in a cesspit, a turd pool, and life is really, really bad. And surely, anytime we can have a laugh, learn something interesting to take our minds off things, surely that is a good thing. But no, people want to fight for their belief. It's their right in the end of the day. Everyone is entitled to their story. But why does that story have to drag us down to their level? Why do we have to do it? My story is a mystery. You know what I mean? So this is what this reality is. No cohesion, complete chaos, not organized chaos. Chaos is good sometimes, keeps it interesting, but they don't want us. And it's not about having all one mind, but it's about that no cohesive. They don't want us to agree to disagree. They want us to fight, maim, call, troll, curse, and not be members of the LLT.
LLT for the win, baby. No Bull Truth brings up
And
a
if
really
any
good.
ladies out there want to become members of the LLT, please find my email for pictures of your left tits. No, Samantha Cano, I don't want to see again pictures of your left testicle or your thong. No.
That's
We're moving upwards. Goodness rises, and we're going to the LLT.
LLT, baby. No Bull Truth brings up a really good point here. And he's talking about, if I tell people I was just in the wrong places at the wrong times, no one's going to buy my book. And that really brings together the entire crux of the situation here is that if your story is not fantastical, if it's not otherworldly, if it doesn't contain some unbelievable fictitious things, then people really aren't interested in it.
It is.
Which
It's
is
like
a
me doing
shame.
my videos, you doing your content. Here's Ryder. He's got my shirt on. No one's gonna believe anything because I've got this. Ryder's got a live banana t-shirt
Banana
on.
Man!
You know what I mean? And it means it's like I was walking down the sidewalk in America, whatever you call them, and I stepped on a crack. I got transported to the furry underworld, where then I met the furry king and queen who told me I am a god from the upper realm. And the upper realm told me LLT rules, and this is a fact. And this video is all about my testimony. It's ka-ching, 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 million views. No, I'm just Ryder, sitting at home, talking about content, doing hard research, putting things, and showing you my opinion.
Nothing.
Okay. Same with
Nothing.
me. No one wants to know. It's just me researching, finding these patterns, and giving an opinion.
They don't want that, Paul. They
No,
don't
it's
want it.
got
They
to
don't like
be
it.
so outlandish. I'm descendant from an angel, and all this stuff, because that sells. That says people are saying, "Oh, he's descendant of an angel." That means whatever he's saying, this has to be the truth. How many times do you see it when people get banned or something? Oh, he must be talking about the truth to get banned.
All the time. No, you're getting banned because you're putting out nonsensical bullshit information is why you're getting banned.
And that's just the beauty of the system that we live in, the paradox of it all.
Yeah, and I mean that's exactly right. Like you have to claim to have some sort of galactic information nobody else has. Got to profess to be the only one that can supply people with that information, and that they can only come to you for that information. So then that gets everyone's brains trained and tuned in to, well, if I want to know what's happening and what's going to happen in the future, then I got to tune into blah blah blah, or I go to blah 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 for this information, or blah 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 for that information.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to read this, you have to buy my book, or it's behind a paywall now for the rest of the video, or makes people go, ooh, and it has to be, what I mean? I mean, people are entitled to do whatever they bloody want, you know what I mean? But what I'm just saying is, it gives like people talk about a mystique. Oh, forbidden. Oh, I mean, basically like a cult. It just means hidden. Oh, this is hidden. Does it have the same ring to it as a cult? It doesn't,
And that's another thing too, is like the titles of the videos.
Yeah.
You got to clickbait people into the title of your video. You can't put the thing in the title that's actually being talked about in the actual video. You got to make it so much more dramatic. Channeling from the 33 dimension light beings from Mars, or how to defend yourself against evil reptilian overlords. And so it's got to be something like that, and it just spikes through the roof.
Yeah. Nothing, it doesn't sell, does it? Oh, well, I'm Joe Blogs and I'm doing this in a room, and oh, yes, I'm asking you to believe what I'm saying. It doesn't have the same tuning if if I've not been transported from the 16th realm, drinking a cup of tea. I mean, it doesn't have the same.
Doesn't have the
Oh,
same effect, dude.
no, and that's what's happened. People just don't. It doesn't sell. It's like the clickbait nature of what we're saying, of these people saying these things. Basically, I've angered a lot of people by saying what all this truth is, because it's just showing them it's a belief, it's faith, it's confidence. It's not fact, And then you know what I mean. So whether it's just mislabel or I've completely read it wrong, but Ryder's read the definitions, that you can go check it for yourself. No word does it say it's a fact. I even search engine, is the truth a fact? And it says no. It can contain, this is again, it can contain elements of a fact, but the rest of it is basically a belief or a faith or confidence. So they're edging the bets, what I mean? So, and this is it.
Yeah, they've even blurred the lines between truth, fact, and belief.
Lies.
Yeah.
Everything is blurred. And why is it blurred? Maybe that's a question we have to ask. Is it intentionally blurred? Or is us learning all the wrong things influencing how we see it? Oh, sorry, it can't be that because that's subjective. Why do they influence us so? Tell me, ask me, why do they have the media programming school if we can be objective? Humans get triggered rather a lot.
Yeah.
Because we've been influenced.
From a very young age, yes.
Yes.
Told what to believe based on what your parents believe, then they
Yep.
pass that on to you, then you pass that on to your
Exactly.
friends, you
A
pass that
core
on to your
belief. Yep.
family. Yep.
You pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on until someone says in the generation of children, why do we have to do that? That doesn't sound right. He's breaking the mold. But then again, whatever he comes up with then, right, gets passed on, passed on, passed on, passed on, passed on. So you then have all these threads or branches of the tree just going everywhere. What is the core belief? Is it the root? What? The roots then break off and branch.
Yeah.
So it's just like nothing is what we believe it to be.
It is a minefield of a bunch of nonsense mixed in with more, compounded upon more nonsense, beliefs and truths and hoaxes and perpetuating garbage has really gotten us to this point. And I think that's the goal of a lot of this, is to put out so much nonsense and garbage that really what may actually be happening is easily disguised under all the bullshit.
You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to get a t-shirt now and have LLT over my left tit.
Get merch from the Thinking Man. The Thinking Man and the LLT. LLT, baby.
LLT for life. Until it's the left cheek or the left nipple or the right nipple or whatever we change it to. But yeah,
Golden Rods present
the golden
LLT. Well, Paul, thanks so much for coming on, brother. Really appreciate your time this evening. Can you let people know where to find you? Plug your new channel really quick so people can hold on. I'll bring it up actually.
Can I change my new channel to the LLT?
Yeah, you should have named it that.
No, not the Thinking Man no more. I am LLT.
LLT, baby.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know me, which YouTube do not like letting people see my stuff or anything, but I am What the Flock TV. That's my main channel. But I've just set this one up last week because of the restrictions on the main channel. I'm still making content on it, but I have to be a little bit wary. So I've set up the Thinking Man, and I've done 4 videos up to now talking about Masonic crossings, which are zebra crossings, pagan crossings, about how the green man and the red stop are the burning man. So, and then have YouTube etymology video, basically how I've traced it back to sun worshipping. So, and the latest video, The Truth in Sheep's Clothing, talking about this very subject. I'm just showing you quickly in, 30 minutes with a bit of thoughts on what you can imagine the truth to be. Is it what we've said, or am I backing up the wrong tree as such? So if you want to check me out, it is The Thinking Man or What the Flock TV. They're the main channel. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I am What the Flock TV on Twitter too. On X, whatever. Still
X. It's X. You can't call it Twitter, Paul. It's no longer Twitter. X.
Yeah, it's X now. No, did the X.
Get the X. You gotta get X.
Yeah, that's where you can find me, guys. If no one doesn't know who I am, and please, again, as always, thank you for giving me your time this evening. Thank you for supporting Ryder and Ryder's shirt. And in 15 minutes time, he will be on OnlyFans showing you his left nipple.
No, that is only Jans. It's only Jans.
That was a year ago to this day. I came with only Jans. I see it pop up in my memories. So yeah, please, guys, I really do appreciate the support. Ryder does too. It's hard. It's not all about views or you guys, but it does help. You know what I mean? It gives us a boost. We don't do this for the money or the fame or the, you know, the looks or anything. You know what I mean? We do it because we love doing it and we love like meeting people. And unfortunately, we have to basically swim with the turds at times, and it's hard work. So we do need you guys having our backs, saying, "Come on, Paul, come on, Ryder, you're doing some good stuff." I don't necessarily, you know, go with you on that one, but it's not about that. It's about you guys helping to prop us up, if you know, and giving us a breath. It's needed. So I want to thank everyone for that. And please just carry on doing that, supporting us people who make content, and hopefully you guys who don't make content feel brave enough to do it and join in the delights of social media, creating content. And much love to everyone.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Please leave a comment. Please hit the thumbs up to help the channel and the algorithm. Share, subscribe, hit the bell icon as well for notifications. And go over there and rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts too, because it's gotten down in ratings because of that freaking video that I did. Unbelievable. But you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, not Apple Music, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, anywhere else you listen to podcasts. The show is on, not just on YouTube, but the show is uploaded a day later to those podcast platforms. But thank you all so much for being here. Please check out Paul's new channel that's in the description of the video, and it's also some people have posted it in the chat. And I'll see you guys on Thursday doing a Christmas roundtable to end out the year, and that'll be with Wayne Steiger, Trina Phoenix, Nina the Mystic, and Robert from Milky Way Soul Tribe. All right, guys. See you guys on Thursday.